Alrighty. KSP2, let's go. Uh, Definitely was important to do my own take on this with all the hate that this game's getting. Um, just kind of wanted to show from my perspective what it looks like, how it plays, um, and so forth. There we go. All right, I think it looks great. I also just made a recent upload about some recent findings on Minmus, and it was kind of a test run for video quality, etc. And yeah, the music was way too loud. I turned the music off. I think I'm going to turn it back up a little bit just because it does add a little bit. And, obviously it was drowning out my commentary a little bit, but, big deal. Haven't done too much, but we're going to go ahead and jump in and I'll show you what I've done so far and what I want to be doing. So, I think this save should be good here. Not running this on anything fancy. 1080 graphics card on an i7 chip. I'm recording with OBS while I'm playing. I did pump up the graphics a little bit from the Minmus video, which you probably won't even see in the playlist until maybe an episode or two later, because I'm going to use this as the intro. So this is a big one people are getting. There's no water. Now this didn't pop up until I went to 4K. Matter of fact, let's do a little experiment. And the water's still gone. So, stuff like that is not going to bother me too much. I'm sorry to say. And it's still... Did I not apply? I did apply. So then let's go back to that. Might as well. I did set this to medium. I don't know really what that's going to do, but anyway. So let's go to the tracking station. I'll show you what I've done so far. I mean, there's a bunch of debris everywhere. Don't really know how to delete it. I mean, you can click to destroy. Nothing happens. You can click over here. Sometimes it'll say destroy over here. We can focus on it. Destroy. Confirm. No, nothing. Also, people are noticing that when you rename shit, it'll rename it temporarily. You can favorite it. Okay. What? See? The names do not stay. So every craft, and this is going to make me miss Untitled Spacecraft. It's almost like someone paid a little extra money. Oh, no, 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 no. They'll be fly safe. No renaming. Just have that drilled into their head a little bit more. But whatever. Combined let's go to this. This is pretty much all I've really done besides the Minmus lander, which we'll see in a little bit. Don't mind the explosions. I don't know what that was. But here we have a refueling vessel that I've set up here in low Kerbal orbit. Well, 91, around 90. And then I've got this little, what I would call a one-person shuttle. Suckling on. But we've got some extra small and some small docking ports. This thing is loaded with fuel. In case you didn't know, you go here to Resource Manager, and this is where you can do your fuel transfers and everything. So let's see here. We go to Methalox, and we can see all of our fuel tanks listed here, and you'll see it highlight. So obviously I got these adapter fuel tanks, and it had been using it pretty, spaced out, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. Adapter, looks like adapter, and then that little one. Oh yeah, because, wait a minute, did I put 2 tanks up there? That's that one. That's the big one. It's that adapter. Oh yeah, this one. That's right. And this side doesn't have one of those. Okay. Let's just there's one right here to step it down to the cupola. But let's say I wanted to I'd like to keep it even, I guess. All right, let's do this. So let's say we want to make a delivery of fuel to fill this thing back up, although I never will. I would just crash it into Kerbal and send up another full one, I guess. Well, I mean, but let's say I wanted to empty from this one into the big one. We click these to put them over on this side, and this one to in. This one goes to out, and I hit start. And this thing will empty. So this fuel tank is now empty. But it's a shuttle, so let's say we're out there shuttling around, which this thing is just meant to, I don't know. Yeah, I'm still thinking KASP-1, where you gotta like go rescue Dickface from the orbit of whatever. And I used to do a lot of this. What I would do is I'd bring up like craft with like 6 escape pods, and I'd put it in orbit, and then I'd use a shuttle like this just to go around and collect all the Kerbals in orbit, and then deposit them back on this escape thing, and they would, in the little escape modules. As a matter of fact, I want to do another version of that, because there ain't shit else to do besides pretend that we have these missions to do. So yeah, this thing's whole point is just to sit up here and be away for, it's never gonna land. If I'm done with it and I don't want it anymore, I'll just crash it into Kerbal and it'll blow up. But we'll select in automatically from out there, and it'll fill this up for me. Let's make sure our monopropellant is topped up. So we'll go here, and well, it's pretty much full, but there, topped it up. So we've got this. I don't know what use we'll get out of it. This was kind of just one of the first things I wanted to do, was see how heavy of a lift I could do. And I got this thing up there, so There is a, Bob Kerman is in the cupola. There's nobody in this. There's a probe core on this. There's a probe core on this too. As a matter of fact, I believe. Yeah, right here. So none of these Kerbals are needed, and really none of them are needed for anything because there's no science to do, there's no engineering, there's no piloting. Every Kerbal, it seems, even if you put him in just a command pod by himself, they seem to be fully capable on all these SAS controls. So for the time being, I've just been throwing probe cores on everything, so they could be empty as well. But fuck it, Bob can sit up there and look at this beautiful Kerbin, which I might say I never modded KSP1. I know a lot of people did. I never did. So that it's looking this sweet is sweet to me. And this is by no means a supercomputer. I don't know. I do notice some slowdown here and there, especially since I just turned up the resolution today to 4K. But if it starts giving me problems, I'll turn it back down. I don't care. I mean, it still looks, to me, vastly better than KSP1 does. I am excited about the new shit to do. Like, you can already see, like, if you go into the tracking station, let's see. Some other stuff I found. If you go into filters, look at this. Waypoints, monuments. I wonder if there's a monument showing on old. This. Honestly, no. It doesn't even look like there's a monument showing there. I mean, I clearly have it. That's for another time. Anyway, like I said. But look at this. Rescue beacons. Delivery routes. What is that? Colonies. We know we're going to be able to colonize. But I think that's what these multiple launch sites on Kerbin and KSC are for. You're going to have things coming in and taking off, and I think Kerbal's. Wow, this is a stab in the dark. Is the water back? Is the main water? No, main water's not back. Stab in the dark here, but what if you need pilots, experienced pilots, because they're going to be automatically going and hauling shit? You know what I mean? Like, you're just kind of, obviously you could control manually if you want, but like maybe you're doing more of an operations gameplay. I don't know. That'd be sweet. So, I do want to do a trip to the moon. We're going to do that probably, maybe even the first thing. Shit, maybe we'll send the shuttle out there to do some recon. But I want to do a mission to the moon arch. And then what I really want to do is I want to put like satellites in orbit around these planets so I can start like looking and see if there's any other monuments out there. Maybe I can find some more shit no one's found yet. So, And I'll be honest with you, I never really got a chance to go to a lot of these in KSP1. So, like, if I ever get to Elu, that'll be my first time getting to Elu. Ever. Ever. I've been to Duna and I think Ike, which everybody, if you've gone off of Kerbin, this is where you've gone. I haven't done none of that cool shit. So, but I do want to get some surveillance going on, you know. And I don't know. I haven't seen much about these comm networks, but I do know that if you have a probe core that doesn't have an antenna on it, you can lose control of that shit. You do need. See, I had to add an antenna to this. You'll see it somewhere, but didn't I? I know I did. Maybe it's not this. I think it's the Minmus lander where I learned that lesson, which is probably too dark right now. I notice this is scaling when I'm over here. I don't like that, but it seems if you click and drag, just being able to go back and forth to. Yeah, why was that flaming, bro? It's like it's testing out the graphics. I know I put a antenna on this piece. Didn't I? Oh yeah, these big ones. No, I could swear though I had some tiny ones on the other one. All right, well, I guess I'll throw in the video about all this next in the playlist, and then after that one, we'll do a mission to the moon, find the moon arch.